This conference will now be recorded.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion for a nomination of an alderman to serve as mayor pro tem.
I move that Wendell Brock
I second.
be nominated.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
How are you?
Ready when you are.
All righty. This is where we need to go here.
Yeah.
My eyeballs on. Good evening. Thank you all for allowing me to serve you. The in-person participation tonight. I'm sorry, we need a roll call first. Roll call, please.
Mr. Kuhn,
Here.
Broderick, Mr. Brock,
Here.
Mr. Piercy,
Here.
Mr. Burris,
Here.
Ms. Lively, here, Mr. Carey,
Here.
Mr. Woodham,
Here.
Mr. Reed,
Here.
Ms. Yoon. Here. Do you have a quorum?
Everybody, very good.
Thank you.
In-person participation, the opportunity for the public to provide public comment to the presiding officer. Those wishing to speak are required to sign in prior to commencement of the meeting. You must address the council from the seat and table provided. Public comments must comply with ordinance 21402. Be limited to 5 minutes or less. Do we have anyone sign?
Tony Kirkman.
Mr. Kirkman?
Can I have a seat here?
Good evening.
Thank you.
Here, I'll pass my turn.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Give Tony the microphone.
Oh, I got it. Don't leave that.
I know that's happened.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Good evening, everyone. I will try to be as brief as I can, as I know that you have a lot to do. My name is Tony Kirkman, and for the past 8 years, I have had the privilege to serve as the executive director of your Piatt County Mental Health Center. Just to make you aware, thank you, sir. The Piatt County Mental Health Center has recently celebrated its 54th birthday here in Piatt County, and we provide outpatient counseling, psychiatric services, addiction therapy, recovery support services. We have prevention programming in all of your Piatt County schools, and we have a myriad of support services for adult and intellectual developmental disabilities. The reason why I'm here today is because recently the Piatt County Board has approved a referendum to be put upon the ballot for all Piatt County residents. That question is to ask residents of Piatt County if they would be willing to stand with us to continue to provide resources so that we can sustain the services at the mental health center. One of the examples that I like to give to show you kind of where we're at is I have a psychiatrist that when you take her wage and you take the expenses that are needed to provide said service, it breaks down to roughly $235 an hour. And I'm getting our psychiatrist pretty affordable. Your state reimburses me for a Medicaid client at about $120 an hour. So it doesn't take very long to realize most businesses don't stay open running $100 an hour in the hole. We have about a 65% Medicaid client rate. And so if I was like any other private business, what I would do is I'd throttle my Medicaid rate and reduce it to about 30% so that I could cover my costs. But as your community mental health center, we're not allowed to do that. We provide a lot of other services that are unseen and unfunded. For example, I provide the naloxone training or the Narcan training to all your first responders here in Piatt County. We do support groups. I go to local schools and provide education on mental health awareness, and really about anything else that people ask of us. And there's a host of other things just for confidentiality reasons I can't talk about. But I wanted to make you aware of the card that you have in front of you. There's 1 in 5 adults have a diagnosable mental health disorder. And when we looked at our Illinois Youth Survey in 2022, 1 in 5 youth aged 13 to 18 experienced a severe mental health disorder at some point. We're looking at creating what's known as a 708 board. That is at the highest rate, a 0.15% tax levy on assessed property value. Now, I don't believe that the county is going to be asking for that full rate. In fact, Champaign County is about 0.12%, and it seems to sustain the needs of Champaign County. For your reflection, I put a map out there that kind of shows you of all of the counties around here that already have what is known as a 708 board. And you can see that Douglas County is the only other county within a 75-mile radius that doesn't have this, in addition to Piatt. We're not asking for funds for new shiny equipment or for luxurious items. What I'm asking for is that the county residents consider supporting us, partnering with us so that we can sustain what we have. I've been told that for every $4 that we spend in mental health, we save law enforcement $7. So I believe it's a cost-effective measure, a preventative measure. And, I have been a resident of Piatt County for the past 8 years. I was actually born, one of probably the few people that was born in Kirby Hospital in the late 70s, lived in Cerro Gordo when I was younger. And I've found that this is a great place to live because we take care of each other. And, myself personally, I'm one of the coaches of your Golden Eagles Special Olympic basketball team. I'm a member of the Rotary. I sit on our HOA commission. And I'm a proud member of the Kirby Foundation Board. And one of the great parts about our community is that we take care of our neighbors. And I think this would be just a nice expression to maintain the services that we have. Again, not asking for anything special, just asking for sustainability. But would be happy to answer any questions or concerns you might have.
Anyone? Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, sir. And I'll leave this for anybody who wants more. Please keeps it out of my office too. Thank you.
I would ask that you all consider that. Remote participation, the opportunity for the public to provide public comment to the presiding officer. Public comments must comply with ordinance 21402, limited to 5 minutes or less. Members of the public are able to attend the meetings by web conference. To submit public comment by email, voicemail, or through the web. Do we have anyone tonight? No one. Okay. We will move on. Thank you very much. The consent agenda, the approval of the documents and action items is listed. The claims report for claims dated September 10th, 2024 through September 23rd, 2024. The city council meeting minutes of September the 9th of 2024. I believe that's all we have on that. Do I have a motion to accept those as presented? So moved. Have a second? Second. Okay. Roll call.
Mr. Kuhn?
Yes.
Mr. Brock?
Yes.
Mr. Piercy?
Yes.
Mr. Burris?
Yes.
Ms. Lively? Yes. Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Mr. Woodham?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Ms. Young?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you all. The mayor's report, you can all text him and wish him well in Florida. I think he's having a good time. Should be. I hope the rain's let up. I have no old business listed. Under new business, we do have some appointments tonight. Would like to recognize these folks. Kimberly Siebert. Kimberly, would you stand, please? Kimberly is appointed to the Monticello Fire and Rescue Department. And Caleb Grove. Caleb, welcome aboard, both of you. Caleb to the Monticello Fire and Rescue Department. Thank you for your service. We appreciate it. Okay. Sorry, we got to vote you in. Hang on. Be seated. Be seated. I think you're going to make it. Got no problem. Please. Motion to accept these two folks. So moved. And a second. Thank you.
Just going to guess on that one.
That's okay.
Mr. Kuhn?
Yes.
Mr. Brock?
Yes.
Mr. Piercy?
Yes.
Mr. Burris?
Yes.
Ms. Lively?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Mr. Woodham?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Ms. Young?
Yes.
Read a sigh of relief. Congratulations. Thank you very much for stepping up. The next one would be for Seth Floyd, Seth is not with us this evening, but he is to the Fire and Police Commission. It's a 3-year term that would expire in April of 2027. Do I have a motion to accept Mr. Floyd?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Mr. Kuhn?
Yes.
Mr. Brock?
Yes.
Mr. Piercy?
Yes.
Mr. Burris?
Yes.
Ms. Lively?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Mr. Woodham?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Ms. Yoon?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. Congratulate him on the appointment. And the last one for Lieutenant David Lansford to the Police and Pension Board. I don't see Dave here tonight. Have a motion to accept Lieutenant Lansford to the board.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Mr. Kuhn?
Yes.
Mr. Brock?
Yes.
Mr. Piercy?
Yes.
Mr. Burris?
Yes.
Ms. Lively?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Mr. Woodham?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Ms. Yoon?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you all for accepting those folks to their service. We have an ordinance, 2024-45. This is approving the final plat of the Woods Place subdivision in Monticello. Mr. Barzik, you have.
Thank you, sir. I'll move up here just so I don't have to move the microphone again.
That's quite
So
a.
2024-45 is actually a minor subdivision per our code of ordinances. The address is commonly known as 830 Allerton Road, which was Mr. Rob Wood's old house. Currently, its ownership is under Woods Place LLC, and the owners are here. Mr. Cressup and Mr. and Mrs. Brown are here for any questions that you might have about. We call it a subdivision, but it's actually more over a lot line adjustment. There's 2 lots there. It's going to be 2 lots to end. They just want to sell off the house in the front, if you are all familiar with it. The little vicinity map I provided shows the star where that's at. That property and the one behind it are the ones we're talking about, but the starred one is the one they're going to eventually sell. And then further on down the road, perhaps build on the back lot. They wanted to keep that in their family's possession. So, okay, so the attached vicinity map shows the location of the subdivision. The address is commonly known as 830 Allerton Road. The subdivision must have council approval by way of ordinance based on the city's municipal code 152.002. Under jurisdiction, these regulations shall apply to every subdivision as defined herein, occurring inside the corporate limits of the city of Monticello, or occurring in the unincorporated within 1.5 miles of the city's corporate limits, as those limits exist at the time of the subdivision occurring. There are no public improvements proposed or needed for this subdivision. They are providing access to Allerton Road to the back lot, and the rear parcel may be developed at a later time. The final plat and attachments must meet the definition of the requirements of Chapter 152.044F of the Municipal Code, final plat submission, review, and approval. City staff has reviewed the submitted documents, and at the time of this, I didn't actually have the signed final plat, but I do have it in my possession now, and all the supporting documents in. So upon council approval, we'll be able to record it at the county courthouse. So it's recommended you discuss and approve the final plat for Woods Place.
Everybody had the opportunity to examine the pictures. Any questions at all? Okay, I accept a motion to approve ordinance 2024-45.
So moved.
A second, please.
Second.
Okay,
Roll call.
please.
Mr. Kuhn?
Yes.
Mr. Brock?
Yes.
Mr. Piercy?
Yes.
Mr. Burris?
Yes.
Ms. Lively?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Mr. Woodham?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Ms. Yoon?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. All the persons' reports. Ms. Lively, we'll start with you.
The roads that they have recently redone are fantabulous. They are so smooth like butter. Oh my goodness. Just like State Street.
They do look good. My golf cart accepted street smile. Oh,
Anyway,
you see,
you know,
Mr. Woodham, anything? Tom?
Nothing?
Jim? Going this way? Nothing on that side? Tom, anything?
Good.
Mike? No. Free and clear tonight. Okay. The police chief's report?
Just to piggyback a little bit on what Mr. Kirkman said, I won't take too long. That's not exaggeration. And he says for every $4 saves us $7. I would say it's probably much higher than that once you figure in personnel and time taking away our time from doing criminal activity things, going to mental health issues, which I don't mind doing. When we go to a call, not all of it is, okay, lock them up, take them to jail, be done with it. A lot of it, what we're seeing now is mental health related. We try to, I hate to drum up business for mental health because someone's in a crisis, but we definitely steer them towards there because that is a great resource to have. Last Friday, we had an incident where a 16-year-old was having a rough time, pure mental health issue. Luckily, in between the SRO, myself, and the school staff, were able to kind of circle the wagons. But then I made the call to mental health and said, hey, you know, is this something that maybe you guys could look into, kind of help out? They're all willing to do this. I've had people to where instead of taking them to jail, we give them the option of, hey, would you talk to somebody, a recovery specialist, Tia Shum over there at mental health? And they are more than willing to drop everything to talk to somebody that we drop off. So, and any support I can give to our mental health center, something definitely that saves me a lot of work in the long term. Beyond that, the school relocation drill that was set for last Friday has now been rescheduled for Thursday, October 3rd. So we'll pump that information out to the citizens once we get a little closer to it. A lot of city staff help out with getting the kiddos from Washington school to the community building and back. So that is definitely appreciated. We're hearing good things. Officer Wooten is doing very good in field training. The other officers have really kind of stepped up. We have 2 officers that have put in over 130 hours of overtime since the first of the year. That's not including Lieutenant Lansford and others, you know, staying late, coming in early, coming in on days off. So it is appreciated. Like I said, that's kind of where we're at until we can get another body on the street. But we're maintaining, we're treading water.
That's it. That's plenty. Thank you very much. Fire chief not with us tonight. He's not due for a report, but they had a very extensive fire just east of me in the southeast part of town this afternoon. No injuries, but extensive property damage. 2 other departments called in to assist, and they were still on the scene about 45 minutes ago. So it was quite a blaze.
That's residential. It was.
Yeah. So
Rescue.
had a
Oh, wow.
eye out down there, but looked like they had it under control, but they're still finishing up, mopping up, as we say. City Administrator Jim ducked out. So Kelly, do you have anything to share, or do you want to take that position? Or
No, just homecoming weekend.
that is.
So go Sages.
Remind everybody, if you're involved in those festivities, please partake. The parade will go off as always, and we're hoping that we get the ball game played without getting soaking wet. There's rain forecast every day for the next 6 or 7 days, so we shall see. Barring anything else, anybody else have any comments, questions of anything? We would accept a motion to adjourn. So moved. Second? Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Are adjourned.